Hi, everyone. My name is Kyle King, and this is going to be my debrief for the Connecting to Communities interview. I want to share with you some of the lessons learned, the things I did good, the things I did bad, and hopefully you, as the interviewer, can take them to heart, use them when you conduct an interview, and make yours better. So, first off, I'd like to share with you a couple things that didn't go so well and what I'd recommend to you. Number one, I'd recommend to have a checklist of everything you need to conduct that interview before you leave. For example, things like the letters of consent are in a binder. You have a clipboard to put them on so he can sign. You have a pen that he can use to sign. That stuff's very important. I found myself without a pen when I needed him to sign the letter of consent. He had to get up, go get a pen, sit back down. As small as it was, it felt a little bit embarrassing. Maybe he didn't realize it, but I did. Number two, locate a good recording device, test it out, and if there's issues with it, get another one. I kind of last minute got my hands on a recorder. It was a nice recorder, so I thought. When I was done with the interview, one of the microphone was broken and therefore gave a loud, annoying buzzing noise. It wasn't until my brother-in-law, who's very nifty with sound editing, was able to edit that out. But if it wasn't for him, it would have been a terrible interview for myself and any other researcher using to transcribe. Practice your script at the beginning. So before you start, there's a little bit of kind of preamble of what you need to say, and practice that, and let him know as well. Hey, when we start rolling the audio, this is what I'm expecting you to say, and that way it just sounds a little bit smoother, a little bit more professional at the beginning. Aside from those points, I feel everything went all right, and I want to share with you some of the things that went well. Number one, I think you really got to pick the right interviewer. There's so many people out there, so many educators, but you really got to look for the qualities of what your research project is going to be and who fulfills those qualities. And I felt my interviewer, of all the choices I had my mom, who's a teacher. I had, family, friends, lots of people who are educators, K through 12. But finding that right individual was the best pick. My subject had over 30 years of history teaching, just real gold nuggets of stories that he shared, lessons learned, experiences in school, the students, just very endearing stories that I think took the interview so much farther than maybe someone else, honestly, to say that. So I think picking the right interviewer is really one of the best starts you can have. Building that rapport. The subject I interviewed was not only a teacher, but he was my teacher in high school. And we had a lot of things in common. I looked up to him in a lot of ways as one of my teachers. And I think as a result that when we met, we already had that instant rapport. So the stories we talked about, the things he shared, they were in depth, they were very deep, they were personal, but he wasn't afraid to do that. And I think that rapport that we had built over time allowed for that to happen. And then lastly, the setting was great. We had it in his living room. Very, very little interruption, outside noise, anything like that was very, very minimal. And it was a great spot. He was relaxed. I was relaxed. It was about 105 out that day, so the AC was rolling. But aside from that, the setting was great. So that setting is very important. Lastly, I'd like to say, overall, the learning experience was incredible. As small as the interview was, I got to meet up with an old friend, rekindle a relationship with someone who I looked up to during a part of my life, and really pull some good nuggets of history out of this man's life. And I hope that they'll go into an archive and serve someone later on. They'll serve as a great historical reference, and if nothing else, maybe share this to his family, and they can look in that and really see who this man was in their life outside of just the family, but in his workplace, the effect and influence he had on several generations of students. So again, I was honored, privileged to be a part of this interview, and I hope that it serves as a great model and help to anyone else out there. Thank you.